And good evening, afternoon it is. And welcome to our winter solstice yoga flow. Today is inevitably International Yoga Day as well as the winter solstice. So I thought we would do a beautiful, warm, flowing yoga and join me on the mat. You won't need anything. The only thing you might want is a pillow because that's really nice and comforting. We're going to stay down on the mat for most of the class, so really just enjoy. Here we go. Oh. So I've actually just decided to use a pillow. You don't need to, but I've decided to do this just for the comfort level, really. So we'll begin, and if you have a pillow or a block, you can sit your hips up on it just to take a little pressure out of the knees. And if you have a mudra of your choice, just taking that now. And then either softening gaze or closing down the eyes. Now, just to get us nice and warm, we will use our breath over the next few moments to start building a little bit of heat and bringing a bit of blood flow into the belly, into the joints. So I'm going to get you to take Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is this oceanic kind of breath. We do it by restricting the throat. You're going to inhale through the nostrils, exhale out through the nostrils with a slight restriction in the throat. So we'll sound a little bit like this. It's not too much of a restriction, just enough that we're building a little bit of heat, especially in our throat and our throat chakra, which is all linked to our freedom of communication. And it's the beautiful link between our body and our head. So it's lovely to just warm this center, and that warmth is going to slowly breathe through the body. So over the next few moments, just trying this Ujjayi breath. If that doesn't suit you, you can just take some natural breaths. But we'll inhale for a count of 4 and we'll exhale for a count of 4. So we're starting to really exaggerate our natural breath. We inhale for a 4, and I'll let you set the tempo, and exhale out for 4. And just continuing on. Two more breaths like this. And then we'll let everything go. Bring the hands to the heart space. Gently open up the eyes. We'll start to build some heat now. So use an inhale. Breathe the arms up overhead. Exhale. Bring the hands to the heart center. Inhale. Bring fresh energy in. Exhale. Center it into that heart space. One more like this. Inhaling up. Exhale. Beautiful. I'll get you to plant both feet in front of you now. So the feet are nice and firmly planted. I've got my nice woolly socks on to keep me nice and warm. Lift the heart space, and we'll just drop the knees over to one side. Doesn't matter which side. Then lift them back up and drop them to the other side. Now, if you want to use a little bit of breath, you'll use your inhale, lift you up. Your exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, let go. One more each side. Inhaling up. Exhale up. Inhale up. Exhale out. Beautiful. I came off my pillow, so if you're off your pillow or your block, just come back onto that. We're going to stay seated just for another moment. Next thing we'll do is take one hand out to the side. Doesn't matter which way you go. Reach the hand up towards the sky, and then from here start to reach across. We're going to flow this, so don't hold for too long. We're just inviting energy into either side and maybe noticing how each side feels. I know for me, one side feels quite compressed and the other one feels a lot more relaxed. So I might even try and breathe an extra breath into the side that feels a bit tighter. So the inhale is nice to do on that over The exhale is nice to do on the center, but if the opposite works for you, do that too. Last one, even yourself out if you need to. And we're going to come on to all fours. So we'll move that pillow if you've got it there still. Knees are going to be stacked directly underneath your hips. Your hands will be stacked directly under the shoulders. We'll take a few cat and cows, Vidalasana. So we'll inhale on that. And inhale, broaden the collarbones. Exhale, drop the tailbone, lift the back of the heart space. So that's an inhale forward. Exhale, drop and lengthen the back side of the body. Inhaling, you use your breath and dictate how long you want to move. So if your breath is really long, then your movements will be really slow. If your breath's a little bit more rapid, it might be a little bit faster. One more like this. And then we'll sink our hips back down. You've got the option of having the feet underneath the hips, knees wide, or feet underneath the hips, knees together. You've also got the option of hands underneath the forehead, arms reaching forward, or arms reaching back. Few breaths here. So just holding down for the next few moments. Breathing all the way into the tailbone. So we're trying to broaden that back body all the way down into the tailbone to create a little bit more space. And if you've got the knees open, really feel like the heart space is melting to the floor as much as you can. One more breath here. And then we'll come back up onto fours and start building a little bit more heat. We're going to come back to Vidalasana. Now, if you're needing a gentler practice today, I'll get you to stay with what we've just done. If you want to bring a little bit of fire, a little bit of heat, you're going to tuck the tailbone and lift the knees off. It might be a micro bend. It might be quite a big bend. So we inhale forward. It might be that micro, I should say lift, not bend. And then up, you're stretching the fronts of the feet and you're starting to really engage that core. Press the mat away. Good. Two more like this. Inhaling forward. Press the mat away. Back of the heart space lifts to help lift you up. Last one like this. Use that exhale to really help you out. We're now going to go opposite hand, opposite foot. Now you can go for one long line here. You're going to kick up if you like, or you can keep the heel just out here. We're going to inhale, expand, exhale, hug elbow to knee. Inhale, expand, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, expand, exhale. Try one more like this. Exhale, float to the opposite side now. So you've got one hand forward, opposite foot goes back. You can stay here or you can lift it hip height. Use your inhale, expand, exhale, elbow and knee connect, or at least they're broadening towards each other. Three more like this. Keep drawing the belly in, especially as you contract forward. Wobbles are absolutely fine. It's part of helping to activate the right muscles to support us. And then soften back. Let's take a child's pose, whichever variation feels good. I'm actually going to take a variation now with my palms facing up. That actually helps get into the outer shoulders a little bit more. 3 deep breaths here. Maybe you're doing this ujjayi breath of that oceanic breath. Maybe you're just breathing naturally. Let's go for 2 more. Whew. And then come back onto all fours. We're going to still continue building a bit more heat. We're going to find a modified plank. So knees are together. I'm dropping my hips so I've got one long line from my knees to the crown of my head. That's it. Now from here, I'm going to bend my elbows all the way down, scoop my belly up to Bhujangasana. I'm going for length versus height so that I'm not coming into the lower back. I'm actually using the upper back to help support me. Then I'm going to press back into a child's pose, knees together. Then I'm going to come back up to plank, elbows scoop down, chin comes down, chest comes up. And then I'm going to press back on my exhale. One more like this. Inhaling forward to that plank, come all the way down. Inhale up, exhale back. We will come forward one more time. This time as you come down, we'll lift up, Float the hands back, palms up. Lift the feet off. Shalabhasana. Lengthening from the crown of the head to the toes. Fingertips reach back. Toes reach back. Shake the head yes and no, just to see that it's relaxed. But the fingertips and the toes reach back. And as if you could, levitate the belly off. And then make a little pillow underneath the forehead. Lift the feet up and just rock side to side. This is like what I call window wipers, and it just helps to relax that lower back, especially the sacrum. Awesome. Now from here, we're going to come up onto all fours initially. You're going to keep your back hand and your back knee on the ground. You're going to face towards me, and the other leg's going to extend out. So I've got my foot firmly planted, and I've got my other hand reaching up towards the sky. Now, instead of sinking into my shoulder, I want to press the mat away, so I'm engaged. I'm supporting under here. I'm reaching up. I'm going to use an inhale up, exhale. We're going to twist, try and touch the back of your room or the back of your mat. Inhale, open, and then exhale, twist under. 3 more like this. Press the mat away, lift up. Exhale, draw the belly in. Try and scoop and give yourself that nice, nourishing hug. Good. We go for 1 more, just going in your time. Beautiful. Next time that your arm is floated up towards the sky, stay there. Reach the fingertips away. So we're going for 1 long line up the side body. You can stay here, or you can lift that foot up at about hip height. Reach and lengthen for 3 breaths. For 2, keep pressing the mat away. For 1, hug in, relax down. Just take 1 little breath down with the head down in child's pose. Roll yourself up, and we'll go to the opposite side. So now, my back hand, I'm on all fours. My back hand, my back knee are going to stay down, but my front arm and front foot are going to expand out. That front foot is pressing down, and then the top arm is reaching up. We use an inhale, expand, exhale, contract. And inhale, expand, exhale, contract. 3 more. Use your breath. Keep pressing the mat away. Your head can follow the hand, or it could just stay looking neutrally forward. Whatever feels best for the neck. Last one like this. Good. Next time that you find your hand up towards the sky, reach it to the top of your mat. So you've got 1 long line from fingertips to heel, and then either stay here or float that heel off for 3, for 2, 1. Slowly release. Just take a moment in child's pose, then come up to seated. Now, before we can continue on, I want to build a little bit of fire in the feet. This is called fire toes, and I'm going to warn you, it doesn't feel so good. So you're going to tuck the toes under, and all we're going to do is simply sit. This is a beautiful time if you want to bring a bit of meditation into your day. You can soften the gaze, close the eyes. Now, if you have just done a 5-hour hike, like I just did, your feet might be a little tender. And I would actually say this is probably on the extreme end for me. There are days when this feels a lot nicer. If, like me, you're feeling that's a little bit too much, come down and just sit on the tops of the feet. That also gives you a nice stretch at the front of the feet. Now, we've got 3 more breaths here. So if you're sticking with fire toes, that's the name of this one. You're doing well. 3 more breaths. Then slowly release. Tap out the feet. Let go of it all. And sink the hips down. Now we're going to return into the shape that we have just done. We're going to add on. We're still building a little bit of heat. So we're going to start. Doesn't matter which side. So we will do both sides. We're going to float the leg off. If it doesn't feel good, just keep the leg on the ground. I'm actually going to show the gentlest version. So your inhale will be a length. We'll actually go lengthen. So inhale, lengthen the arm overhead. If you're doing a gentle version, you're going to bring the toes towards you, so maybe the elbow and knee connect. Inhale out. If you want to make this stronger, you're going to lift it up to hip height. I like to flex, but you can point. Inhale, expand. Exhale, hug elbow to knee. It's a lot stronger. So if this feels better for you, please stick with that. Do whatever feels best for you in terms of doing quality ones. So we don't really want to compromise all our alignment by collapsing and being here. Just keep it simple if you need. No worries. You just work with you. Then slowly soften down on your next exhale. We'll go to the opposite side straight away. No little break. So you use your inhale, reach over. Exhale, maybe toes stay on the mat. Or you've got that option of inhale, lift. Whew. Exhale, hug elbow to knee. And if you're a little imbalanced like I am, you'll probably find one side feels incredibly easier than the opposite side. And that is okay. We are not perfect beings. We are not symmetrical. We are creative and interesting. Softening down on your next exhale. Beautiful. Let's find Anahatasana now. So you come back onto all fours. Take your hands about shoulder width. Now, you notice I'm underneath my shoulders here. What I want to do is walk a few hands lengths forward. I'm going to keep my knees, what are these called? Hips stacked directly above the knees. And I'm going to soften the heart space down. So forehead can be down or chin could be looking forward. But the idea is that we are melting this mid-back, allowing it to soften down. 3 breaths here. 2, 1, and from here, just sinking the hips back, re-elongate, roll vertebra by vertebra all the way back up. Okay, let's take our legs out wide now. And we're going to do a little bit, it'll be a combination of stretching, but also working our spine. Now, if you're finding when you take your legs to the side, you really curl back in that lower back, I'm going to suggest get that pillow underneath the buttocks because it helps to lengthen the spine. It just tilts your pelvis a little bit in order to stack the spine a bit easier, okay? So just do it. Don't worry. It's a tool to help you. There's nothing shameful about that. I use it all the time as a tool. Okay. We're going to inhale here, and then we're going to take the arms out. You're going to inhale up, exhale, twist to one side, only as far as you can that your belly is doing this. Then you're going to take the opposite hand to the outside of the knee and start to reach down. So if you're feeling very tight, it might just be here. If you're feeling quite flexible, you might actually get to the outer edge, but don't lift up the opposite hip. Keep it down. Circle down, maybe kiss your knee if you can. Kiss your toes, I'd love to see that. 3 more breaths. Releasing on every exhale. And then coming up, we're going to use an inhale lift. Use the belly to twist you to the opposite side. Find the opposite hand to the outer knee. Somewhere you start to stretch down. It may be quite upright, or you might find your way all the way down to that outer edge without the opposite hip coming off. Few breaths here, really softening down. Every exhale is an opportunity to release. Good. Last breath here. Then coming up. Now I'm going to use a pillow. If you've got a pillow underneath the butt, but you have the option for another pillow, you can bring it forward. If you've got a really big pillow, you can also put it under you. I'm going to come forward. Pillow is not necessary. You might feel great to come all the way down. If it doesn't feel good for the spine, you can stay upright, okay? Whatever helps you to just release the inner thighs, okay? We've got about 3 more breaths. I'm just going to put this under my belly as that nice support. Relax the head and neck if you're forward folded. You've got one last breath. Then coming all the way up to seated. Beautiful. I'm going to take 1 foot forward. Doesn't matter which one. Rotate the other foot out. Hug it in as if you were trying to do a tree pose, standing that leg on that other leg. Now, we're going to take Janushirasana. You're going to reach opposite hand. Use an inhale up. On your exhale, you're going to come to the outer knee again. And then, depending on your flexibility, coming down, you might start to come all the way down. Maybe kiss your knee. Maybe kiss your toe. Softening down, you've got 3 breaths. Every exhale is an opportunity to let go. This is winter solstice. Even if it's not winter solstice, it's a time to just release on every single exhale we have in life. Coming all the way up. Now, this is quite fun. You're going to take your same hand as the bent leg behind your hip, reach the opposite leg up. No, what is this? Arm. We're going to reach the opposite arm up. You're going to float your toe down, lift up, and reach to the back of the room. Now, I don't really have much space behind me, but you can go really extensive here. One more breath here, and then sink the hips down. I really quite enjoy that. Opposite one over. So we're taking the foot forward. We're going opposite arm. Opposite arm to foot. We release them to the outside edge of the knee. You can start to soften down here, anywhere between upright and kissing your toe, essentially. 5 conscious breaths. Every breath is an opportunity to invite fresh air on your inhale and let go on your exhale. Doesn't matter if you're on your mat doing yoga or whether you are just out on the street. Every breath is an opportunity. Last one here. Then coming back up. You have same hand as the hip that is bent, the knee that is bent. Opposite arm lifts up, place the foot down, reach to the back of your mat or back to the space that you're in. 3 expansive breaths here. And then sinking those hips back down. Lovely. Let's go to our backs now. I'm going to find hip width distance apart. And where you put your feet is wherever your middle finger can touch and just scrape the heel there. Check that your feet are parallel to the mat. We have a tendency to want to open our knees and our legs. That's going to really compress your lower back. No good. Let's have them parallel. And you can just do a little visual check there. On our inhale, I'm going to get you to drop the tailbone, lift vertebra by vertebra all the way up. On your exhale, lower vertebra by vertebra all the way down. So the ribs are pressing down towards the hips. You'll use your breath to do this over and over. Try and keep your head looking up. Inhale to press up. Take your time. Exhale to come back down. Good. Go for 3 more like this. Inhale, press down to lift you up. And then exhale, draw in towards the spine to lower you down. You've got 2 more. Let's go for real quality. So we want to, as people, to rush around. We're always on a time limit. But isn't it nice when you do something really quality and you can feel the difference between something that's rushed and panicked versus slow, quality, and conscious. Let's hug the knees in towards the spine. Maybe circle the knees each way. I find that a really lovely way to relax and release the sacrum and the lower back. And let's hug one knee in towards the chest. The other leg can be bent and flapped out, or it can be extended out. And if you have got it extended out, I do suggest either pointing the toes or flexing the toes so it's engaged. Now, you can absolutely stay here and just enjoy this luxurious stretch. If, however, you feel like you want to build a little bit more heat, you can lift your upper body, maybe kiss your knee. And if you're really feeling like it, lift the lower leg off and stay lifting for 3 breaths. Remember, you've got the choice to stay down. 2, 1, slowly come down. Let's switch the legs over now and also switch your bind to that way that feels a bit weird. Hug the knee in. Same thing. Enjoy this luxurious stretch, either with the knee bent or stretched. Hug up if you like. Lots of kisses for the body. And maybe float that bottom heel off. You've got 3 breaths here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower down. Good. Now, we're going to do an active little twist before we do a really passive twist. This will be our final thing before Shavasana. What you're going to do is take elbow to knee if you can. It's a bit tricky to get it to there. That's already a bit of a work. If that feels like a lot of work and effort, elbow to knee, I want you to just stay here. If you can, I want you to extend the lower leg And then we're just going to do 2 of these without using momentum. Try and roll over to the opposite side. And then even harder, try and roll back. That really uses your obliques, okay? If it doesn't feel nice, just hug the knee and rock yourself over and use it more as a stretch. Good. And let's try the other side now. So you've got opposite elbow to knee. That might be already quite a bit of engagement for you. The next thing is to straighten that bottom leg if you like. And then the next thing that's really testing, hug elbow to knee. Use it to take you to the side. Whew. Now, trying not to use momentum. See if you can bring it back. And as I said, you're going to go for 1 more. If you want to, it can just be a little stretch. Good. Hug both knees in. Take a happy baby. Why not? Holding onto the outside edges of the feet. Trying to bend the knees down. Now, if you've got your tailbone quite a bit off the ground, I want you to think of lengthening it down. Doesn't matter if it touches or not. It's just that thought of lengthening down. Soften the knees. Maybe rock side to side. Imagine you are an incredibly flexible, carefree baby that's very happy. Good. And then as you're ready, if there's anything else you feel you need to do, I'm actually going to do a little shake before I go into Shavasana just to heat the body up. It is winter solstice, so it is one of the probably coolest days. And then I'm going to find Shavasana. Just flopping the feet out, flop the hands open, and we'll just be here for the next few moments. We're not here for long. So just staying there, softening the gaze or closing the eyes down. And I will bring you out of this in a moment. Stay in your Shavasana, soften down. Now, if you would like to, and I do encourage it because it's really great for the body, it's great for the soul, it's great for the mind, stay here for as long as you like. If you are on a time limit and you really need to stick to that 30 minutes, then I'm going to get you to slowly start awakening. So bringing some movement to the fingers, bringing some movement to the toes. You can maybe stretch the arms up, reach the legs in opposition as you're lying down. And over the next few breaths, you'll make your way into a curl ball. So just hugging those knees in. And then just dropping yourself to one side. I like to make a little pillow with my arm. And for these final 3 breaths here, just release anything you no longer need. Let it go. Imagine it melting off the body, off your skeleton. Just let it go. And slowly making your way up to a comfortable seat of your choice. We're going to seal our practice with 3 unified breaths. If you are staying in Shavasana, that's absolutely fine. You just stay there and allow yourself to exist. If you have made your way up to a seated position, then I'll get you to bring your hands to the heart space. Just like we opened this class, we will seal it together. Wherever you are in your breath cycle, I'll get you to exhale out. Use a fresh inhale, lifting up. Exhale, hands to the heart space. Beautiful. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, hands the heart space. Last one, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, hands to the heart space. Bow your gaze towards the heart space just for a breath or two. Give yourself some gratitude for coming to the mat, bringing some heat, some warmth, some nourishment, some nurturing to your body, mind, and spirit. And may you, on today and all days, have a beautiful, warming day. Namaste. Thank you so much. I'll see you again in another class. Bye.